Good morning, Twitch.tv. Good morning to YouTube as well. And, of course, good morning, mini Motorways. Let's go to Reykjavik for today's daily challenge. We will have 4 traffic lights and double road tiles. It's a heck of a way to start your Wednesday. Off we go over to here. Get these yellows going in a generally thatly direction. Turn the game audio down just a skosh. We don't need it to be full level audio here. We'll be fine. Hopefully. That's still probably too loud. Be less loud, game. There you go. Oh, goodness. It is Wednesday. Come on, my dudes. We are all old. I don't know how those two things are related, but trust me, they are. All right. For lack of anything better to do, I think we might toss one of these 4 traffic lights right here. Make this a PCTL right in front of this red intersection here. Because these the yellows are going to have to go down this way, and there's really not going to be a good way for these colors to share. Well, actually, you know, I was going to run the red houses up around here and realize that I had another layer of road available to me, but now I'm not. Now I'm not going to do those things. Instead, we're going to go off this way. We're going to have... Actually, let's have a roundabout. This is a good idea. Here we go. Let's just gather all of our lovely friends right here at a roundabout, what say. We'll have an eastern spur that goes off like so, and a southeastern spur that does this. There. And, even betterly, we can separate the yellows from the reds a little bit. Just like that. Okay. This is all fine. This is all fine and dandy. How's the audio balance doing? It's probably fine. If anyone thinks that's a little too loud, I think that might be a little too loud in my headphones, but, you know. Oh, we've only done, what, 930 of these now? How many of these have I done? Let me open gimmimimim.txt. This is number 921. We've only done 921 of these. You can't expect me to be good at it yet. Come on. Honestly, what do you expect of people? They do something 921 times and they learn about it? Pfft, 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 and piffle, I say. All right. So, problem. Well, interesting situation, more so than problem, maybe. This yellow business has come into existence right over here, which means we really kind of can't... Yeah, no, I think we're just going to have to let that be. Because the alternative would be shift every road down such that we go west entrance, northwest entrance, and then a northern exit would have to go boop, 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 which would be awful. And then the northeast, yeah, no, it's not good. We don't want that. Let's take a bridge. We should probably have ourselves a bridge. Should also probably staple this orange onto this road and get this going this way. All of these businesses, by the way, this is like the most ratwike in the history of ratwikes. This rat is, it's just Wyke or something. I don't know, man. Hi there, green thing. You do not need to deal with any of this garbage, for okay, now you have to deal with this garbage. Sorry, your friend spawned in a bad place. That means you'll come down here, out of the roundabout, and, oh god. Yeah, this'll be fine. I think this is completely fine. I don't foresee any issues or problems or failures of things in any way. Going there. Here. You come here. We'll make this a perfectly cromulent traffic light. Point you down into the roundabout there. Sure. Fine. I like all of this. I'm a fan of these. You know what? Actually, with these greens having spawned here, I think we can just say farewell and so long to all of this and just have these loop around like so. There. These greens are now ancillary and incidental and not part of the solution to any of our problems. We do still have to keep the southern bridge spur going, just because this yellow business is extant and needs dudes. So that'll be fine. It'll be completely and totally fine. We're going to be okay. That's what's going to happen. Everything's okay. We're right here beside you. We won't let you slip away, etc., etc. Oh, God. Who remembers the musical episode of Scrubs? Is the new Scrubs any good? I've seen previews for it and commercials and that sort of thing, and it just kind of looks like the people who made Scrubs got together and were like, hey, remember making Scrubs? Let's make more Scrubs. And they decided to just do the same bits. So you basically have the cast of Scrubs doing the best of Scrubs 20 years later. Which, listen, I'm sure there's a market for that. People aren't doing this for free. But, it's probably fine. Here, let's have these purples right here come up this way, and then we'll PCTL right here. This is indeed a perfectly cromulent traffic light. You got your purple come out of here, turns right, basically with the light. Even if it turns against the light, it'll be fine. Now we have a whole bunch of red. Hasn't really done nothing. Okay. So, problems and failures. And situations. We've got this orange business, this green business here, rather. Not orange. Green is a different color. Let's see. I think I kind of wish I had a roundabout for here, but I don't. So what we're going to do instead is something. What is that thing? Wonderful question. Haven't figured that part out yet. I think what we're going to do is we're going to chop this road and also this road. We're going to have greens come this way and do this. Oh, that's horrendous. Not a fan of that in the slightest. But what it does allow us to do is run yellows this way to serve this business, take a little bit of heat off of the Ratwike, which is of critical importance given the whole, everything. Speaking of the whole everything, let's take this road here. Let's separate these spurs, kill this spur, draw motorway number 1 in this fashion. That'll serve this business. It'll dedicate more support to this business. It'll take heat off of the roundabout. It'll make life easier and better for these two yellows here. Yeah, this is generally good and worth doing, this thing that I'm doing. Good. Good. Also, I realized that there's a better and easier way to do... Oh, I accidentally killed the motorway. That's fine. We can unkill it in a second. There's a better and easier and simpler way to do the things that I'm doing here, which involves, draw this road, do that up to that, and that in turn allows me to do this, which at least looks nicer. Okay. And I promise that just as soon as we get this motorway back, I will immediately replace it because it was a good motorway and it needs to be a thing. Give to me another roundabout. Thank you very much. Oh, hi. More red business, eh? Okay. Well, that's probably just fine. Here. Motorway number 1 shoops over there. You, red, will bulldoze that tree. Sorry about that tree. Everybody drop your scare dozers in the chat. Let's see. Another green here to support these two. That's good. Could use another red over here to support this, but let's not get greedy. You And you will point here, yellows and reds sharing a road. Again, what's the worst that could happen? Ow. Man. This green business is now extant. Hey, you know what? That's probably just completely and totally fine, because what we can do is chop this road entirely, have this newly spawned green up here, point there, and then these two greens point down here. That just saves me a bucket of road tile, splits everything up. We get ever so slightly closer to our brilliant ideal of one business, one road. Speaking of which, let's make life a little easier and simpler for these purples. Straight shotted, we go that away. That will be fine. Here's another motorway. Okay. We're making it happen. You come over this way. You repeat that motion. Are things actually working now? Things appear to actually be working now. Holy shit. Imagine if Alphino's plans in Final Fantasy XIV actually worked. They never do. When last we saw our friend Alphino, he had passed out due to circumstances slightly beyond his control, while in the middle of being a kidnapped prisoner on account of his stupid plan. So, oops. That's fine. He's had stupid plans before and somehow didn't get himself killed. It is impressive in retrospect that the Crystal Braves didn't just fucking off him. They probably should have just fucking offed him, but they didn't. Alright, let's see here. This light blue is a thing. I think what we're going to do about that involves bulldozing a tree. Sorry about that tree. And then we'll take these three like so. Motorway number 2. Zoom thatly. And if you zoom thatly, everything will be grand. If you come over here and then PCTL right here, we now have 2 greens to serve this green, which is good. It's, ow. It's 100% more greens, which, if you talk to any dietary consultant, is going to say that's what we should, have in our lives. Bergerman92 says, greetings, Goog. The Dodgers have killed baseball. That's aggressive and false, but, you know, heaven forbid that a team in need of a starting pitcher trade some future assets for the present value of adding a starting pitcher. How dare they? How dare the Los Angeles Dodgers do the thing that any buy team should be doing, you know, or for that matter, any pansexual team or any team in a position to add talent to its roster should probably do what the Dodgers did. Like, okay, yeah, they got the 2-time rating AL Cy Young winner. That's a very good pitcher to add. How often are pitchers like that available in trade at the deadline? Very rarely. How often do teams trade away prospects with the kind of potential and pedigree of Zaire Hope and, for that matter, River Ryan? River Ryan's not chopped liver. He's just, you know, been chopped a bunch, including in his liver. That's not his fault. It's kind of, well, you know. My point is the Dodgers are fine. Also, they lost last night. Tarek Skubal pitched for the Dodgers and they lost. It's possible. It can happen. It is likelier than not that some team that isn't the Dodgers will win the World Series. Like right now, this very moment, the Dodgers' chances of winning the World Series are what? You know, 25, 30%? You would pick them? Baseball is weird. What are we going to do here? It's a good question to which I presently don't have an answer. I think what we're going to do is steal a red house from this business. This poor business over here will be left to fend for itself. And by fend for itself, I mean have one less dude. You're going to have one fewer dude. You poor baby, you have one fewer dude. Yeah, the Diamondbacks won the World Series recently. The Diamondbacks have won 2 World Series. Have they? Yeah, they won in, they won in 2001, and I think they won again in like 2021 or 2 or something like that. I think they were also the team that the Rangers beat, so maybe I'm just remembering that they were in the World Series and not that they won it, but they have won it in the past, so they could absolutely win it again. Let's see here. We'll put these 2 blues and a weird bridge road over here, serve this business. That'll be fine. Like, what are the Dodgers? Something like 95% favorites to win the NL West right now, and even that feels generous. It doesn't feel like they have a massive... You know what I could do? I could just Google Fangraphs playoff odds, and we can go from there. We can use that as our jumping off point, okay? Fangraphs playoff odds. What do we got here right now? According to Fangraphs, which is in fact a website that exists on the internet, the National League West, the Dodgers are presently, okay, they do have a 9-game lead over the Diamondbacks with like less than 50 games left. So the Dodgers are 99.7% to win the World Series. Not to win the World Series, I'm sorry, to win the National League West. And that's a lot, and that's good. Good for the Dodgers. Let's take for granted that the Dodgers win the National League West. Even if they win the National League West, they might not get a bye. They'll probably get a bye. They'll probably have one of the better records. So let's assume, for the sake of assumption, no, let's not even do that. Dodgers are 88% to clinch a bye, which means there's about a 1 in 6? No, not 6. 1 in 7, 1 in 8? Yeah, 1 in 8. There's about a 1 in 8 that the Dodgers have to play the wild card round, right? And typically, what you do for shorthand in a baseball playoff series, because it's such a short sample and because anything can happen over the course of 3 or 5 games, is you just flip a coin. And listen, the Dodgers are better than that. The Dodgers are better than any other team in the National League. That's just true. So let's give them 60% odds in any short series. 65? You're really stretching it if you go to 65. And then the math gets hard. Fortunately, I can open a calculator here. We can just do this. So let's say the Dodgers are 65% favorites to win any short series, right? That's overly generous to the Dodgers, but we're doing it. So there's an 88% chance that the Dodgers don't have to play the 3-game wild card series, right? So we take the 88% chance that they clinch the bye. We multiply that by the 65% chance that if they're in the bye, they'll win it. That right there, that doesn't sound right. I think I fucked up. I know what I needed to do. I needed to take the inverse. The 12 and then the... Okay. What we're getting at is there's a 12% chance of the 35% chance that they lose. There's about a 4% chance that the Dodgers get bounced in round 1 of the playoffs. Would be very funny. And also a shame, because that would mean that the best team got bounced. But, you know. We're not doing things to maximize revenue or interest here. We're doing things to preserve the dignity and the fifis of the people who are like, oh no, the Dodgers, they're ruining baseball by winning 2 consecutive World Series, which is a thing that plenty of teams have done before. Hey, what's going on with this blue circle over here? I know we just pulled this, but there's a whole bunch of blues here that aren't really doing anything. Listen, of all possible outcomes, the likeliest one is that the Dodgers win the World Series, right? My friend Jarrett talks about this a lot on his podcast. I say my friend Jarrett, which he is, this is a true fact, as though he isn't also one of the dozen or so leading prospect analysis voices in all of professional baseball commentary. A dude whose work you should read because it is good and he is smart. And whose podcast you should listen to because it is good, and he and his co-podcaster are both good and smart. My friend Jared has a saying that it's like, it's not the likeliest outcome, but it's the likeliest single outcome. What I'm getting at is that the Dodgers are something like 20-25% to win the World Series, maybe 30% to win the World Series, and every other team is not. But if you take the other 29 teams, in aggregate, it's likelier than not that the Dodgers won't win the World Series. But of all possible teams, the Dodgers are the one singular team. If you can only pick one team, you should pick the Dodgers. The Dodgers are the likeliest team. But the likeliest thing is that the Dodgers don't win it, is my point. Let's see here. I think we're going to have to get creative in order to support this business. So let's extend this road here. This road here just happens to have, like, 3 blues on it that ain't doing anything. Let's take motorway number 3, extend it that way, and then run down here. Yeah. And then, as a special added bonus, we can put these 2 yellows on this road, and they can support this business, which I'm sure is going to work out fine for everybody. It's all going to be great, and everything's going to be swell and super. Also, this purple needs to go off this way. That's a significant efficiency upgrade to have this purple point in the correct direction. So that's a good, smart thing I've done. It would be funny if the White Sox win it, only if the Pope is in attendance. Listen, I don't particularly care for the White Sox as an organization. I think they're run by shitbags and kooks. But it would be very funny if, at the first available opportunity, after a noted Chicago White Sox fan becomes the literal actual Pope, the White Sox win the World Series. I think that would be funny. I would find it amusing. I've drawn this bridge here and eliminated a motorway such that these 2 houses can now serve this business. That should be all well and good. However, as you may have noticed, this situation here is rapidly becoming untenable. So, I think what we're going to do is we're going to take some heat off of this Ratwike by pulling these 3 yellows right here out of the situation entirely. And, you know, I was going to draw them a motorway, but I've got the road. I think we'll just bridge them. That is not what I intended for that. Boop, 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 boop. Okay, so you now come up here and go voop. Okay, so this little road here, including its little kadush, avoids the roundabout. By taking this heat off the roundabout, we make the roundabout a more hospitable place for all of the yellows and reds that are trying to get here and here, right? That's actually a productive and good thing that I've done. Is that actually a productive and good thing that I've done? I don't know if that's actually a productive and good thing that I've done. We'll see. I think we might just need to have better dude flow in general. And if we have better dude flow in general, we'll... Okay. Hold on, I have to cough. Ow, my back. Oh, hey, this business is going to die. I was not prepared for that. Do you think about how the roadways are designed on my commute? I mean, sort of. 1,722 commuters over 86 days is decent enough. It's top 40% in the world. It is nowhere near as good as our friend Samurai Sam dropped those slams in the chat. I think I am interested in road design outside of mini motorways. There's a couple of accounts that I see on like YouTube Shorts and TikTok that are like, let's redesign this intersection by putting a roundabout here, or this is how highways work. That sort of thing. And I find that stuff fascinating, somewhat. I don't go around thinking like, ooh, if this was a mini motorways level, I would do this and this and this and this and this and this, just because I have found that the way you design for a high score in mini motorways is completely different from the way you would design for an efficient road network of actually getting people to places, right? Because actual people are not just yellow squares that need to go to any of the yellow businesses. It's not like every given individual walks out of their home wearing the same color shirt saying, I will only go to one of the 3 businesses that wear my same color shirt. Now, this might be true in, say, suburban Texas, but, you know, if you're going to take pot shots at people, take pot shots at people who live in the deep exurbs of Houston. You ever see drone footage of the newly constructed suburban neighborhoods? Endless rows upon rows of the same exact house in exurban Houston, Texas? Shit's creepy, man. Anyway, let us say hello to our very good friend, the Wordle. Our very good friend, the Wordle, of course, is associated with our not-so-great friends, the New York Times. There may or may not come a time when we have to make a reckoning about that, and if we do, our very good friend, the Wordle, is not going to win that reckoning. But in the meantime, reckon is a 6-letter word, so we don't have to worry about it. The Wordle today is olive. No? Okay. But there is an I and an O. That's good. The Wordle today is ratio. No, it is not. But we do have another T. Well, we know there's a T, and we found where the I goes. So that's something. The Wordle today is topic. Could be topic. Absolutely nothing saying it's not, other than the recently discovered knowledge that it is not. But we did figure out where the O goes, and given that, hold on. So we know where the O and the I go, right? There's an O here and an I here. And we know that the T can't be here, so basically what I'm saying is T can't be the first letter. Can't be the second letter because that's O. Can't be the third letter because we've already tried that. Can't be the fourth letter because that's I. Therefore, it has to be the fifth letter. So what we've got is, this is the word. One of these X's, in fact, this X has to be P, right? Because we sussed out, we know where the O and the I go. Because we know where the O and the I go, and where the T's can't go, we figured out where the T has to go. And then from there, we know where the O and the I and the T go, and where the P can't go. So this has to be where the P goes. This has to be where the P goes is also what a 3-year-old says, figuring out the toilet. Anyway, there's just one, well, actually, I was about to posit the suggestion that there was a small problem, given that I couldn't figure out what the hell the word was, but then we figured out that the word is posit. That was a very, like, the man in the red house drives the Jeep, the man who drives the Jeep has mud flaps, the person with the mud flaps was the killer, like those kind of logic puzzles. That was a very logic puzzle way of figuring out the Wordle, but we got there. And for the Wordle today was posit. Hooray for me. Glory and triumph for the underscored Goog. Away goes to the don't tell me the answer text, because listen, if you know the answer, tell me the answer as we go to Time Guesser. Hi there, Time Guesser. So you appear to be a politician of some sort, celebrating and glad handing and all that. You're the Petroleros, eh? I don't know exactly what that word means, but I know what it could mean. And if it means what I think it could mean, I don't think I like these people. But yes. Hi there, flags. If I was a person who recognized flags, these would be exceedingly helpful. I don't think that's Spain. I'm not even sure that's a nation. All right. Hi there, lady with a C on her hat. Lady with a C on her hat is not a fan of the Chicago Cubs, possibly. If I was a person who recognized politicians, this would be helpful, but no. All right, so what's the deal with the Petroleros? Is that just your name? Listen, you could be a lady named Petroleros, Or you could be a whole bunch of gas station owners who are like, yes, we shall form a coalition of gasoline salesmen. We shall be the petrol arrows. That would be bad. We don't want that kind of petrol arrow happening here. This is a very modern thing. This was probably like yesterday. I know there were a whole bunch of primary elections yesterday. Also, let us delve briefly into the local politics of the great state of Michigan, just to point and laugh at Haley Stevens and then leave. Ready? Ready? Away we go. Oh, God. Let's see. Where the fuck are we? It's a good question. So, this group of folk are all very happy about this Petrol Arrows person, or perhaps these Petrol Arrows people. We're going to assume that this is just a lady named Petrol Arrows. What's on your press pass here, my guy? Shit that I can't read. Awesome. Okay. This is not a Cubs hat, I don't think. I think it's a hat with a C on it. It could be Columbia, I guess. You've got an all-access press pass, which is nice. Erg and Smurg. If I was a person who recognized buildings, this would be helpful. But, you know. Could this be Mexico? No. I guess it could be Spain. I don't particularly agree with that notion, but... what do we have here? TRR. No. No, that doesn't really help. You're very happy about the petrol, though. Ricardo Aldana? Okay. You're in a certain section. You have a harbor on your visor, which is good. Okay. I got nothing, man. And I can't read any of the slogan on your merch other than your name. All right. Well, shit. Okay, so this is something of trying to invert this in my head, trying to figure out. No. Yeah, this is a vote thing. That doesn't... Well, we already figured that part out. Okay. So we're definitely not in the U.S. I'm pretty sure the language here is either Spanish or Portuguese. So... Wait. You're from the Bronx Documentary Center? Shit. How certain was I that we're not in the U.S.? You got a bunch of camera gear. It's another modern phone. This dude might have literally the exact camera that I use for work, which is fun. Oh, man. All right. We are in... Madrid, Spain? 2026? Sure. That looks like an iPhone 13, you said? This? These have the triple camera lenses of the modern earphones. We're in... I don't feel hemispherically good about this. We are in Madrid, Spain in 2025. Was Mexico City, Mexico 2024. All right, fine. Also, this is Claudia Scheinbaum. You know, Claudia Scheinbaum is very notably not named Petroleros. So, okay. Good for you, President Claudia. Next, we've got a motorcade of fuckers in front of, I think this is some flavor of Scandinavian flag. I think most of the Scandinavian countries have flags that look vaguely like this. and we just got to figure out which one it is. I'm going to go with Norway? So I think Denmark's is this, but inverted, to where the red is the primary and the blue is the cross. And I know Sweden uses a darker blue and then yellow. So we're in Oslo, Norway? That stands to reason. As to the when of this, wonderful question. We've got a little bit of fashion and also these cars. These feel like some exceedingly 1970s automobiles. So Oslo, Norway, 1978? Sure. This stands to reason. My logic is infallible, except for the ways in which it is wrong, of which there are probably many, but let's not worry about that right now. We were, in fact, in Reykjavik, Iceland. Sad. Yeah, Reykjavik, Iceland, 1974. Iceland is kind of half Scandinavian if you squint. Next, we got a whole bunch of standy-looky fuckers in some rock place. Okay. What do your signs say, my guys? Macerata. Okay. Tolentino. Camarino. Okay. Okay. Can't read that one. Sad. Okay. So we got a whole bunch of folk, some of whom are wearing vaguely Russian hats. And yeah, not a phone in sight. They're just living in the moment. Aside from this guy, he's got a camera. Cameras aren't phones. That's different. Fuck, man. Where the fuck are we? I want to say Russia on account of the hats, but hey, what's going on with my man all in black here? Like we've got a whole bunch of folk in general uniform, although this dude is dressed for a night at the supper club more so than a military uniform. Let's be honest with ourselves. I kind of want to say Russia, but also this does not look like Russian. So, oof. Oh, I feel real bad. Well, here, let's just be hemispherically inaccurate again. We are in Madrid, Spain, obviously, in 25? Was Rome in 1926. These are fascists. I see. It's the Colosseum. Also, the blackness of the shirt is explained by the fact that they're black shirts. Okay. Next. We're at the Willy Baumeister, or perhaps we're advertising that. Ben Barca, Revelations de Dernière Minute. Okay. So this is the Geneva Tribune. Well, then I think I know where we are. I have a hunch. I have just the slightest bit of an inkling as to where we might be. Yeah, this is also the Swiss, in case you didn't get it. There's a coup. Oh, there's a coup. There's a coup in Switzerland? That doesn't sound right. Switzerland has coups? You can get your black and white Scotch whiskey. You'll be playing politics with black and... No? Okay, fine. A lot of politics is done with Scotch and whiskey, though. All right. Yeah, we're in Geneva, Switzerland in 19... Don't move the thing? That feels a little ambitious. 19 Ujel the thing a skosh to the left? Yeah, that sounds better. Here. Let's get all Swiss about stuff. Hi there. Where'd you put Geneva? There's Zurich and hey, Geneva. We're in Geneva. We're in Geneva. We're in Geneva, Diva. I don't know the words. We are in Geneva, Switzerland in 19... Noodle the thing a little bit to the left.
Hear ye. Let the record show.
Should have oodled it right.
This viewer was here first.
Samurai Sam was here first. Good morning, Sam. Oh. Sam was in the musical that song was from? Silly you thinking I remember what songs was playing. Oh, right. The one I just did. The one with the being in the money and all of that. I'm smart. So, apparently, Local Union 396 has been generally unappreciative and disliking of the treatment they've received at the hands of UPS. UPS, it seems, is mean to them. All right. The other brown sauce. I'm sorry. Interesting. If I was a person who recognized labor union leaders, I would. This would be helpful, but this, however, is actually legitimately helpful. The LA Rubber Co. suggests to us that we may, in fact, be in LA. So, if that is the case, let us all point and laugh at this man, who is a Dallas Cowboys fan, despite living in Los Angeles. Ha ha, you're living up to a stereotype. Ha ha, ha ha. All right, UPS is unfair to Teamsters Local 396. It's sanctioned by the Joint Council number 42. Hooray for union politics. Everyone's on board with the strike here. Let's also remember when UPS had union labor. That would be nice. We should have more of that. Union labor, not UPS. Anyway, we're in Los Angeles, California in 19... I don't know, man. 83? Sure. Is that Jimmy Hoffa? I don't know that I've ever actually seen an image of Jimmy Hoffa. That could be Jimmy Hoffa. It could also just be a guy. Anyway. Let's go to Los Angeles. Let's say that we are in... Oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, we're going to say we're down here. We're sort of near the airport. We're in Los Angeles, California in, what would we say, 1983? Sure. 1997. Okay, fine. There was a website URL on the... Oh. Oh, so there was. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay, there was a... Yeah, okay, that... It is an 80s... Yeah, like, okay, if you don't see the fucking hit-a-tip, which, listen, we should have seen the hit-a-tip. Not saying we shouldn't have, but we should... If you don't see the hit-a-tip, and you instead see this man with the fanny pack and the jorts and the conveniently dangling fabric of jort, it's like... Okay. Incidentally, something cotton, the fabric of our jorts. And I say that just so that I can say that the fabric of our jorts is the title of the episode. Come on now. That's funny. Oh, God. Final score is 33,976. Please ignore all of the enormous dashed lineliness going on here. There's, well, a lot of it. Yeah, I didn't do great. All right, we need batting average. Oh, no. For a Cardinal over the last 25 years who never won MVP, a dude in the NL West, a dude who played in the 2011 World Series, a dude in the AL Central, and an Atlantan who's never won MVP. Okay, then. Cardinal who never won MVP anytime in his career over the last 25 years, who had a really high batting average, is a good question, actually. Let's suggest... My first thought is Jahani Peralta. That's probably very wrong. Ray Lankford? Ray Lankford was good, wasn't he? He was a Cardinal. He had hits at some point. Played until 2004, eh? How do we feel about 2001 Ray Lankford? Didn't have 400 plate appearances. Okay. How do we feel about 2000 Ray Lankford? 253. Did bad. Edgar Renteria, J.D. Drew, Yadier Molina. Hey, listen, Sam, that's a true statement about Ray Lankford, and also abusive religious figures. He was a Cardinal. He had hits at some point. Anyway, we need a dude in the National League West in 2013, and the question now is Adrian Gonzalez up and running and excellent by 2013? I feel like Adrian Gonzalez was up and running and excellent by 2013. Seems a good solid thing here. Oh, yeah. 2013 Adrian Gonzalez hit 293. Okay. Well, that's good. It's not like amazing or nothing. Michael Kadire existed. Yasiel Puig. Troy Tulowitzki was good in 20. Okay, fine. We'll take it at least. Give me more 293s and fewer late career Ray Lankfords. Yeah, but 20, yeah, it was fine. 2011 World Series was the one the Rangers won. No, that's the one the Cardinals beat the Rangers in. It's the one the Rangers would have won had they not, I think it was Nelson Cruz in right field who fucked up and misplayed the game-tying triple in Game 6, and then the Cardinals won Game 7. That all sounds right. So 2011 Cardinals or Rangers. 2011, I think, was before Albert Pujols went to the Angels. So it could be Albert Pujols. That seems reasonable. Nelson Cruz is actually not a bad pull. TBQH. I think we're going to go Albert Pujols, though. We're going to try Albert Pujols. And if it turns out to be wrong, it didn't. Good. Albert Pujols hit 299 in 2011. Sadly, there were better hitters, such as Michael Young, Mike Napoli, Yadier Molina, and Lance Berkman. All right, fine. Dude in the AL Central 2019. 2019, my immediate first thought, which is just the ones we're going with here, are Miguel Cabrera was probably still good in 2019, and if he wasn't or was hurt somehow, Tim Anderson existed. So let's go with Miguel Cabrera. Expect me to remember dudes' batting averages in given seasons. Fuck that. Miguel Cabrera hit 282 in 2019, which is fine, but Tim Anderson existed. God damn it. God damn it. Also, a whole bunch of dudes who no one's ever heard of and certainly didn't give 2-year contracts for which they've played 30 games and sucked. Or anything. We need an Atlantan who has never won MVP at any time in his career from the years 2000 to 2026. And I think my first thought here is, what if we scrolled back up to these Cardinals and were reminded that J.D. Drew existed? Now, granted, he was a Cardinal in 2001, but what about 2000? Maybe? I don't know, man. You were an Atlantan at some point in there, weren't you, Jid? I feel like you were an Atlantan. Like 2004, maybe? 2004, J.D. Drew had a .305 batting average. Good job, Goog. Now, granted, that's not as good as Brian McCann or Edgar Renteria or Gary Sheffield or Javi Lopez or Omar Infante or anyone else who came in between 321 and 305. Final score for the final time is 286, which means Samurai Sam is victorious. Sadness and failure. Sadness and failure for me, the underscore Goog. Curse you, Ray Lankford, person that I thought was good I'm going to look up Ray Lankford's baseball reference page just to assuage my bruised ego and remind us that Ray Lankford was at some point good. Ray Lankford was very good. Holy shit. Ray Lankford had a stretch of like 8 consecutive seasons where in the very worst one, he was an 18% better than league average hitter. Ray Lankford had 3 5-win seasons as a player. Good for you, Ray Lankford. You were very good, just not so much in terms of hitting for batting average in 2000. We're going to close by reciting Ray Lankford's batting averages from 1997 to 2000, and then we're going to be annoyed. 295, 293, 306, 253. Mother a fucker. Curse you, Ray Lankford, you horrible, horrible man who also had a good career. Folks, that'll do it for us here today on Good Morning Mini Motorways. If this schedule holds, which, 1, if I can say the word holds, and 2, it's looking like it's going to, because I've already taken Friday off of work, so something really fucked up would have to happen. We'll be back Friday morning, 7 o'clock Eastern, for another edition of Good Morning Mini Motorways. Until then, this is the end screen. Thank you for watching. Have a good day. Goodbye.